Maybe they can. You'd love to see it. You'd love to see a good performance from some of these players on Gen.G. I always like, you know, even if a team's not doing so well, to see some pretty big level performances out of some of the individual players on the way out of the sort of previous period of the team is the way I would put it. Long control established here for Gen.G. In response, EG start to push up middle. Tarek's made his way all the way up there as Gen.G starting to set up for this long take. Maybe chuck some smokes on the cross. Seems like they're very much waiting for Tarek's flank out here. See if they will be able to punish it.
Yeah, USP in hand here for Breezy. He's going to be backed up well by Cirque, and the first couple of shots do ring out across Dust2. There's a headshot for Cirque. Tarek follows up with a kill onto Kusta, and across the board it's Evil Geniuses that are finding the frags. The smoke won't deny the kills coming through from CT Spawn, and Ben Ted is the last left alive now for Gen.G as he tries to collapse upon Breezy. Low HP doesn't make a difference when the headshot comes across, and that's 1-0 for Evil Geniuses.
Yeah, I have a feeling that there's going to be a lot of rounds like that, Jordan, to be honest. Very, very one-sided start to the game. Gen.G keen to see if they're going to be forcing or just taking the single save. Does seem like they will just opt to take the single save, although Automatic investing in the scout, seeing what he can get done.
And it's just a slow approach in the mid-round coming out from Gen.G. EG, given a lot of respect at mid, just waiting for maybe a B split to come through, but it's Automatic going up short, and he's not going to be allowed any space. Cirque just farming, looking to find some dollary dues for that AWP, and it's going to be him, Tarek, just holding down short so damn well. That's going to be the bomb retrieved and a round found as well. 2 on the board now for EG.
The pace has already been set here by Evil Geniuses. 2 very comprehensive round victories in a row. That said, obviously Gen.G, they didn't win the pistol, didn't have much of a chance in round number 2. Here we go into round 3 with the investment from Gen.G. AKs and armor across the board, exception being Automatic, who's got himself a scout. And so there's a bit of util here for Gen.G, but if EG can continue that momentum that they've already picked up in those first couple of rounds, which it looks like they might be able to, courtesy of that shot from Cirque, Gen.G is going to be in for a rough time here on Dust2.
Trying to zoom across, get that pick with the scout, and Cirque just puts you in your place. You get out-zoomed by the zoomer himself.
With the zoom banger.
With the zoom banger. The big green.
So where does Gen.G turn from here? It's a 4-on-5.
I like their approach, to be honest. If you down a man on Dust2, mid to B is not too bad of a shout, to be honest. If you cut the map in half, you win one of those aim duels, can try to create yourself a 4-on-1 and control the rotations.
It's a nicely timed incendiary, to be honest, from Ethan, and it looks like the nade might be pretty good as well. Som does run over Cirque in the B bomb side, and Stanislaw also falls. Look at where Ben Ted is. Oh. Ethan helped him out with that kill, and Ben Ted gets a double. It's actually looking like a good round here for Gen.G, but Breezy still alive in the 1-on-3, has grabbed the kill onto Ben Ted already, and has time to contest this one on B. AK upgrade here for him as well, Max. So, a chance for EG to put another nail in the coffin. It's very early on in the piece, but that would be what this would be if Breezy does clutch this out.
And Som in a very solid position here at Heat, and should just be taking contact. Dap's able to peek on the contact, but there you go. So Som just does it all himself. Nice timing on the peek, just clearing doors, and that's going to be Gen.G on the board nice and early.
Did only survive with those 2 players. So money going to be a little bit on the shaky side for Gen.G. As for EG though, they will be buying up here. It's just the scout glass cannon on Cirque. It's really quite a scuffed buy if you look at it. Only 2 primary rifles, very limited utility, so their firepower is going to have to bail them out of this rough situation.
Yeah, the scout battle through the mid doors. Automatic and Cirque going head to head. It's already 1 to Cirque, 0 to Automatic, so see if Automatic can bite back a little bit in this round. Solo on the B bomb site, though, is Stanislaw, and he does not have anything to delay Gen.G here. A team that's looking like they're actually going to be setting up for a B contact play. They'll just walk on in, but maybe a chance here for Stanislaw, particularly if they line up dancing around the box nicely and gets the help from Ethan. A bink onto Som as well, and Stanislaw holding strong on the site. The CTs are doing a good job, even with this, as you say, scuffed by. It's a 2-on-4 now, and Gen.G, their hopes starting to fade in the round.
Stand here, solid position. Eyes on the prize. It's going to be Automatic, who can't slide the shot with the scout. And it's looking a little bit rough coming in from the tunnels. You got Tarek on the flank, and that's going to be another one. EG making that round look easy as we head into round 5.
And that's the issue with winning a buy with only 2 guns up for Gen.G. Can't afford to buy up in the round after losing against that pretty scuffed buy from EG. So they're very well and truly on the back foot at this point here on Dust2. Gonna have to take that save. That will allow EG's economy to start to build up a little bit, should they have a pretty solid anti-eco here. And not only that, they'll also potentially be up 4-1. So leading in the scoreline, leading in terms of the economy, you're cruising along at that point if you're the boys over on EG. Did you hear that, John? What was that?
What was that noise? I apologise.
Must have been the pipes.
I apologise to everyone who is listening. That was Mac sucking down some orange juice.
OJ.
It is
to
quite
start
early in the
your
morning.
day. It's a good way to start it.
So we'll just hopefully use our cough button next time so that it doesn't go through to the broadcast.
I didn't expect the slurp. Look, I'm sorry. I do apologise. Anyway, look, Gen.G going to be slurping their way up short here as well. Cirque just waiting for the timing. But there's no utility. It's just going to have to be brute force.
Well, speaking of utility, there's a fair bit actually on the CT side at least, and so that's going to keep Gen.G at bay for now. Already a kill over on the B bomb site. That was Stanislaw, who's now dropped himself a smoke. No pressure at all on B. You see Ethan starting to come across to the mid area of the map, and it's a good solid hold. Tarek gets himself 3, perhaps even a 4th here as he just taps away with the AK. And EG continue their solid work so far on Dust2.
What's that thing you do when you launch the plates into the sky and try and shoot them? That's essentially
Skeet shooting, isn't it?
Yeah, that's essentially what Tarek is doing.
Play pigeons.
Yeah.
Doing a bit of skeet shooting.
They don't look like
there
pigeons.
with the AK.
They're actually discs.
Okay.
I don't know if you noticed that.
I would,
Yeah, I have.
I have noticed that once or
Pretty
twice.
crazy, honestly.
That is crazy, Mac. That is absolutely insane in the membrane. Let's see if Gen.G are going to be able to get their way out of here. Double nade in towards the hut. Doesn't really connect on anything, luckily for Gen.G. And now they're going to take this long control.
Oh, are they going to take this long control?
Well, they're going to try. Now let's see how they go. Stan with the counter utility, allowing Breezy to continue fighting here. But over towards blue is where we're going to see them standing. Ventet trying to make his way out now, and he certainly does. Now, the rotation back to mid. And Ethan, last line of defense at B. You got Tarek gazing in this direction over from the A ramp. Solid crossfire going to be, well, broken up by the smoke. And let's see if Gen.G can capitalize from a 4v4 situation.
Well, they've been good at getting into these B bomb sites, even at a numbers disadvantage. When they've gone mid to B, it's been successful now twice in this map. EG, though, they have the opportunity for a retake, 4-on-4, as you mentioned. A lot of areas of the map, though, to clear out. First, they have to get through mid. Then, by the time they get to the site, they're going to have to clear out upper tunnels, all of the areas on the bomb site itself as well. So this is actually going to take EG quite a long time, and it's going to go right down to the wire if they do make this retake happen. Automatic drops early. Tarek gets another one, but can't double down. Bentet, though, will fall, and it's going to be Breezy and Kusta into the one-on-one, going head-to-head. Luckily, Breezy's got a defuse kit and a good shot, but he doesn't have the time, and so it'll be a round for Gen.G.
That was a great mid-round from Gen.G, to be honest. They try to force their way out long and realize there's a lot of players over there. So after losing that initial pick, you did see Bentet just got straight out of there. They rotated back towards mid. There was still 3 players on that A side of the map from EG. And Gen.G just went straight mid to B. Even with a very, very solid mid-round call from Gen.G, though, it still does come down to a one-on-one where Breezy wins the duel. So even with the perfect mid-round, it's like you're barely scraping it across the line as Gen.G, which is not a great sign. Again, Cirque, once again, punishing a player who's trying to get a bit cheeky with the scout. At least Gen.G do have this long control for the time being, but they've lost a man on the way in.
This is a very fast approach up long, though, and no eyes on this direction. Dap tries to slide a shot on the head, but cops a huge amount of damage there through the smoke. It's going to be Breezy just looking to defend up short.
Yeah, Breezy looking really sharp today. 7-1 so far. Gen.G, though, will get the bomb plant down, and now they can try to play out this numerical disadvantage in the post-plant. Automatic tries to get aggressive around the smoke, but again, Breezy just so prepared for it. Puts it down to the 2-on-4 now. Stanislaw and Tarek will be good for 2, and that's the end of GG's round. Evil Genius has grabbed themselves a 5th. I mean, it's kind of feeling pretty one-sided at the moment. Gen.G's got a couple of rounds on the board, but there's always the response from EG. We're never at a point where EG's looking like they're going to get economically reset. They're always the ones that are in control of this half. And Gen.G just aren't doing enough to put that pressure onto EG, despite the fact that they've found themselves a couple of rounds.
Very quiet at his place, isn't it?
What's Breeze doing in the kitchen? He's playing in the kitchen.
I have seen a few people playing in the kitchen.
What's the idea behind that? Maybe we can ask him.
Or maybe there's just no space in his bedroom. Pilly, did you ever think of that?
Get hungry, quick snack, no worries.
Mac, I live in a tiny 2-bedroom apartment. It's literally a shoebox that I have to pay absolute premium cash for, and I still fit my desk in there, mate.
Yeah, but how many monitors do you have? How many
2
computers
monitors.
do you have?
How much of a gamer are you?
Yeah, that's the
Because you're
question.
definitely not nearly as much of a gamer as Breezy is right now.
Or Cirque.
Cirque, he's also a bit of a gamer.
Just jumping around.
Just against the Deagles, gets the 3K with the AWP, and that's a very quick 6-2.
I would agree with you. That is a quick 6-2, Jordan. And I would say that EG, after getting that quick 6-2, have also got themselves a pretty strong economy.
All I'm saying is, do you know how easy it would be to walk to the fridge and grab yourself a Mountain Dew game fuel if you were gaming in the kitchen?
Easy
You're
breezy.
cutting down your walk time. You can see the pop. You can see the Q pop from the kitchen. It's perfect.
Cirque's just twisted his ankle and got a bit upset about it, so he's given Ethan a bit of a left-hand jab to the head.
They're thinking, look, Gen.G, they might need a bit of a handicap here.
Yeah, potentially so. One control taken from Gen.G, but Tarek just pushes up mid. Catches Som, who was flashing his teammates out of long. He was trying to be a good friend, trying to help out the boys, and he gets punished for it.
And that's going to be the bomb found as well. Tarek in the perfect position to deal with a push from bedroom, but just worried about a lurker coming from upper dark. Daps, however, very focused on trying to work the opposing side of the map. Tarek only good for one.
Oh,
Pulls it back as
How is he
Kuska can't
alive?
trade. Exactly the question it needs to be asked. And look, they know automatics out long as well. They seem to be aware of this position.
Tarek, the 1 HP wonder. How's he alive? Well, because he's still got some HP to his name, and he might even grab a 4th. 14-3, fellas. 14 frags in the 9 rounds we've had so far, and only 3 deaths for Tarek. He's on a tear, and so is the rest of EG.
Turok never gives up. That's it.
Gamer.
The second spray here was a bit nasty.
A good odd crab walk. Hope for the best. He's pretty excited about that.
You know what? If we're looking at everyone's backdrops, what it does strike me there quite nicely as Cirque picks up the initial frag in this round is that Tarek's got a nice blue screen for us. So, you know, if there's anyone that's so inclined, they could probably cut out that image of him and, you know,
How's he got there?
put something behind him.
Kusta the sneaky
With
bugger.
those glasses on, I'd probably chuck him in like a bank or something, maybe like an office.
Yeah.
He's looking pretty professional, pretty slick today.
Maybe he looked a bit like Superman's alter ego. I can't even remember what Superman's name is.
Clark Kent.
Clark Kent. Looks a bit like Clark Kent. Do you reckon?
He's playing a bit like Clark Kent, to be honest.
Yeah.
Flying into the opponent's spawn where they buy guns.
And there's no kryptonite around at the moment.
I don't know if they've necessarily invented that over in Gen.G town at the moment.
No.
I don't know if anyone in NA's got the kryptonite to EG. At least for the time being.
Tactical timeout for Gen.G. And I'd say it's probably about time for that. They're down 8-2 on their own map choice. Automatic, yet to find a frag. Daps only has the 1. And the rest of the scoreboard's not looking too crash hot for them either. So something special needs to happen here for Gen.G if they're going to turn their fortunes around. And look, granted, the situation going into today's game for Gen.G, I'm sure is not ideal. It's not exactly where they'd want to be halfway through the season of ESL Pro League, but they kind of got to make something happen here if they want to have any sort of inroads in the season. And whether that's going to be with Daps or without Daps, who knows? It's got to happen on Dust2. It's their map choice. And EG, probably one of the most difficult opponents that they're going to be facing. But so far, it's not the game that Gen.G would have liked to have put on the board.
Catwalk set up here for EG this time around. You can see a little triangle of players stand and the two boys on short, looking for a crossfire when the aggression and the control tries to be extended in towards Catwalk from Gen.G.
Let's see how the timing goes.
Gen.G, I think, are very, very aware that this is a Catwalk setup at the moment. Haven't heard anything towards long.
And they're just waiting to go in. Som, I think he's about to flash the boys in, but Kusa's going to take contact dry and manages to slide a headshot through Cirque. Unable to connect that time, but they will fall back, drop the smoke, and try to buy some extra time at the minute mark.
I like this, though, from Tarek. Just getting a little bit cheeky, a bit aggressive. He's backing himself. The flash comes through, and that's great. Cirque helping him out. It's Tarek only 1 for 1. So at the end of the day, not too bad for Gen.G.
Yeah, progression smoke now coming out for them. They put themselves in a pretty good position. You can see one player is out long for Gen.G, but he's being quickly flanked.
Yeah, Ethan coming around the back through T-Spawn. Bentet, though, does get the better of Cirque, and it's really going to be on to Ethan to make the impact now. That said, Bentet's watching. He jumps at the wrong time, but still wins the duel. Stanislaw, can he be the hero for Evil Geniuses in this one? Well, Daps certainly not too eager to see that happen. 8-3, Gen.G have got themselves the round off the back of the tactical pause, and maybe this is where their fortunes can turn.
Potentially so. Took a little tack pause and just said fire up. And Kusa doing a pretty good job in that round, finds the entry and then is traded nicely to create a massive opening there in short. And with that opening, Bentet also steps into the fold and closes the round out. So nicely done for Gen.G, but it's not enough to put EG in the bin just yet. They've still got a very strong economy, so it's going to be a little bit of a work in progress for Gen.G.
Alright, flash off at mid. Stan going to be blinded for the moment and won't re-aggress. That's going to be some short control now for Gen.G. And the question is, what do they do with it? Do they go for the A split again? Cirque re-aggressing at mid, but might be able to find the timing on the Som, and he does. Nice shot coming out to give themselves a man advantage. Now EG able just to play retake from here.
Yeah, Breezy's just keeping an eye on short for the moment, seeing whether or not anyone's going to pop their way up there, but he's mollied out of his position. Still a big hole in the smoke, though, for Gen.G. Now the flashes, the counter utility coming in from EG, as well as the rotate from Tarek, who's found himself a double kill. Automatics down to 1 HP off the back of a grenade. And all's well that seems to end well for EG. They might lose a round here or there, but the response is always very good from them. And this is going to be no change to that fact. 4 players alive at the end of the round as Breezy also gets himself 2 kills in this one. 9-3, and EG continue their very strong march in the first map.
Well, Gen.G going to try to put together a bit more of a scuffed buy here. Drop coming out. I think someone's going to... Is someone going to have to go out without a primary rifle? Oh, it doesn't look like it. You actually have enough to be able to buy all of those. Only a Galil is the sacrifice there for Kusa. Not the worst thing in the world, so just pushes into lower dark. Why not? At this point.
Looks like Som's aware, dropping that flash through, and Cirque is going to just hightail his way out of there.
Yep, not interested, which is fair enough. Well, Gen.G have got a fair bit of util in this round, so I'm quite interested to see what they're going to do with that. So far, a better start to the round for Gen.G as well, in that they haven't lost a pick to Cirque through those mid doors just yet. And they know exactly where he is.
Yeah, good flashes from Gen.G. Just pushing him off the angle. They're going to secure that catwalk control with a bit of supportive utility.
What's wrong?
There's the catwalk for Gen.G. Very limited utility now for EG. It's Tarek sitting in Goose at the moment with that flash ready.
Gonna have your CT smoke lined up. Tarek.
He's 20-6 in 12 rounds, by the way.
He's going pretty bananas at the moment. And Som might have made a bit of noise on that drop. I'd say EG are pretty aware of that. The flashes are coming through. Tarek looks like he wants to be sent through the smoke, feeling ever confident. And he's going to not quite win that aim duel against Som. But Breezy will be problematic in mid. Catches the better of Som. Back to the 3-on-2. Bomb plant's going down for Gen.G here. But no real reason not to go for this for EG at the moment. They have so much cash.
Well, they don't have util to get back in the demand disadvantageous situation. It's just not going to work. Unless Gen.G really drops the ball. That's what EG have to hope in. But look, automatic eyes on the prize into upper dark. You've got Cirque as well, just trying to find a pick through the doors. Dap's not going to be spotted yet. There it is. Automatic hits your shot. So does Daps, and that's going to be another round on the board for Gen.G as they send it to 4. Now, there's a chance here that this could be a 9-6 affair, and Gen.G might have a solid chance in the second half. But for now, let's see.
I mean, 9-6 would be great news for Gen.G, to be honest. It would absolutely salvage their half. And we've been talking quite a bit of doom and gloom about Gen.G, but look, if they can get to 6, then I think they can be pretty happy with that on the T side against EG. I'm not sure that I'm seeing it at the moment, Mac. The consistency has been there for EG, in that every time that they've lost a round to Gen.G, they've always been able to bounce back with a round win of their own. And they've got a great buy coming here. That said, like you say, if Gen.G is able to pick this one up, EG is going to be reset. And a pretty good start. Breezy already going down. Automatic has crossed across to the blue bin and stopped there to crossfire from bedroom doors. Starting to come together here for Gen.G.
Molly isolates the fight on the player at blue. That's going to be automatic, and he's spotted, smoked through. Let's see if he can get to safety. No, Kuster over towards mid, actually dealing with Ethan nicely. And that's the B side of the map completely open, but Gen.G still forcing their hand to long for the moment. Automatic takes the win against Stanislaw, and it's Tarek in a 1v4, and he's going to crab walk his way through the smoke to another pick, aware that the flank could be coming through, and it's a matter of timing here. Automatic's head's going to be seen.
Well, Tarek's going to have a bit of time dealing with Automatic right now, and that's going to be not even the distraction required for Gen.G to get the bomb down, because it is what ends up winning the round for them. EG, money's kind of cooked now. Ethan's got a bit, Tarek's got a bit. They'll get a couple of guns through in this round, but it's definitely not going to be a good solid full buy like what they've had for the rest of this half. So, Mac, you said 9-6 is possible, and now it's very much a likelihood that that actually can be the case for Gen.G, which I do think actually really salvages their half. I've been a little bit worried for them so far in this first half, and it is, of course, their map pick, so you'd want to be seeing them probably get a little bit more than 6. But hey, at least 6 is something to play with when it looked like EG might get up to 10 or 11. Good couple of frags come through from Daps and Song. They were a little bit sleepy, Gen.G, at the start of this half, but now, in the final 5 rounds, I'd say, they've looked really good.
You know, they've had the realization, hey, look, we're getting rounds. We can actually do this. We can make it happen. Stan, though, pushes up just as the smoke fades, and that's going to be another easy one for Som. So 9-6, certainly looking like it should be the scoreline here. Both CT players just grouping up over towards to the B site as Gen.G split into A. And from here, it should just be, you know, take these fights, try to trade together. And it's Kuster straight onto Cirque. Now, Breezy, what have you got for us? 1v5. It's a long way to go.
Well, scout time. Oh, yeah, there's a chance. Doesn't quite connect onto the head now. Bentet's going to challenge. And he had his opportunities, that's for sure. But it's not easy with the scout, is it? And it's still not going to be easy for Gen.G, even despite the fact that they get back to 6. But at the very least, it's something to play from in the second half.
Towards greatness. Been alone in the dark, isolated, and my dreaming isn't real, we're separated. I never know it's coming my way, yeah. Cold out of stone, stay out of my lane, yeah. Leave me alone, this is my moment. Finally found what lights up my fire. gone in a second. No, I've learned my lessons. I'm picking up my weapons. I'ma be a legend. Keep the energy high as they coming to go up. Believe in myself and I'm taking it home. I'm stepping it up to another level. Time moving faster than never before. They don't really know about honesty, but they don't really grow honestly. I cannot be stopped constantly. Consciously is a part of me. And all that I know is coming my way. Yeah, cold out of stone. Stay out of my lane. Yeah, leave me alone. And this is my moment. Finally found what lights up my fire.
EG looking like their usual selves and having a fairly dominating performance against Gen.G, at least for the majority of the first half. But Gen.G were able to claw their way back into a few rounds towards the end of things. And it does give them something to play with. The one caveat I will say, though, here, Pilski, is that EG has now moved on to the T side of Dust2. And I think life gets a bit more difficult for Gen.G as a result of that. So 6, it's probably not enough, let's be real here, but at least you can say that they didn't get run over on the map.
Well, EG, they are just as strong on the T side as the CT side, whereas Gen.G's CT side's a bit stronger than their T side, Jordan. So let's see how this does go in the second half.
Yeah, EG, they do have that long control now. They've secured that. They've left old mate Breeze in towards B tunnels. Push up middle in response from Gen.G. This looks like a pistol round that I've seen before, boys. A little bit earlier in this game.
Well, let's see if Breezy can maybe have an impact on the flank. Speaking of, Bentet's coming in through doors as well, but Ethan's looking in this direction. He's got a flash to work with. He has no armor, though, so all with a P250, though, Bentet could go down in one shot.
That's a nice open plant for that bomb, which will make life easier in the long run for EG. For now, Gen.G are still starting to float their way in toward the A bomb site. Breezy comes up short behind Daps, makes a lot of noise, but Daps doesn't hear him, and now the rest coming through from CT are running into a crossfire. It's Cirque and Breezy that do the lion's share of the work for Evil Geniuses. Ethan upholds his end of the bargain by locking down long, and EG, they get the 10-6 scoreline, the pistol in the second half, and they're off to the races again.
Well, what do you know? That came plummeting down as soon as Breezy got that kill on the flank. There's no short control. 3 up the guts from CT, and Bentet a little laid out long as well, so not really drawing the attention, hoping he could maybe come out and be a bit of a surprise at the end of the round. But because those 3 players at CT died, it was just all she wrote. And oh, Cirque with another great way to start round 2 of the half.
Cirque's been really, really solid for Evil Geniuses, hasn't he? He's just continuing to put in work today, getting those opening frags. I don't know what his opening duel percentage is, but I want to say it's something pretty crazy. I'll have a quick look here. And 6-0, there you go. So if your AWPer is getting a 6-0 opening duel percentage out of 16 rounds...
Well, that'll be 7 too.
Oh yeah, 7 even. It's probably not even updated, so you're right. That's nearly half of the rounds in the entire map that you've started with, with an opening kill for your team. You're playing 4v5 for 7 out of the 16 rounds. It's just unreal. Just courtesy of Cirque, by the way, not to mention the fact that Tarek's 1-0, Breezy, Stanislaw, and Ethan are all going even as well. So I don't even know how many opening duels have Gen.G won, like 4? 4 out of 12, so that's not too crash hot. 4 out of 12? 4 out of 17, I should say. Don't know where the 12 came from.
And if you have a look at the flash assist there as well, Jordan, I think 2 of the kills that Gen.G's managed to get are flash assist, and was that like 10? Coming out for EG as well? 11 maybe? That's
12.
Ridiculous. 12 now, yeah. So It looks like EG's util game is just slightly more important, and that's from their CT side mostly as well. So let's see if that continues going forward, but Gen.G for now, they've gone for the 4-man stack, the quick boost up short, and EG in some solid positions to deal with it. Molly towards mid doors, head's going to be spotted by Tarek here from lowers, and they're just hoping that someone comes in. Nice bink.
Look at this!
Oh.
Oh, that first grenade missed. I thought there was going to be so much more damage. I was really getting excited for the big Kobe, the 5-man Kobe. Well, it would have been a 4-man because Daps was in mid, but...
That was pretty funny. You saw Gen.G up in catwalk, like trying to posture, trying to be aggressive, trying to be a bit alpha with that 4-man USP stack, and you just see the Molotovs thrown behind the USP as like, you're trapped in here with us, not the other way around. Yep. Yeah, they cleaned it up pretty nicely. Only one casualty there for EG.
As has been the case on a lot of their anti-ecos so far. They haven't really lost too many guns to those, and it's a sign of a good solid team. 12-6. This will be the first buy round for Gen.G in the half. Orp does come for automatic, but he's glass cannon and lacking a little bit of util there. Still, it looks quite good for Gen.G here, so it's going to have to be a pretty good start to the half for them. They need to win this gun round. Otherwise, chances are they won't have much time to spend on the CT side.
Well, they've called the right setup. It was a 4-man play towards long, at least from the get-go, but now the rotation back to mid from Booster.
Oh, Bentet going to flash himself back in, and it's in a good position as well. Him and Som just trying to hold this crossfire. Bentet only good for one before he's traded through. They know that Som's in the pit as well. Tarak goes down, and it's now Som in a very solid position. He's supported by automatic coming in as well.
That's something that EG is going to have to adapt to. Ethan will try and lurk his way through the smoke. And, ooh, actually almost got one before Daps took him down. Either way, it won't matter too much. Gen.G are keeping themselves fairly healthy here with 4 players alive. And Stanislaw's the last remaining for EG. He'll try and work his way into that B bomb site. There is a defender there, and it's Kusta, who barely takes any damage until the Molotov does land. Gen.G will get their first gun round here in the CT side. So off to a good start, a better start. I don't know that it's good just yet, though. They probably need a bit more.
Yeah, well, at least they kept up a fair amount of guns, which builds their economy quite substantially. As for EG, they're just going to buy straight into this next round, and they even have more cash in the bank following that. So they're still looking pretty good here. Once again, contesting long for both teams.
Ooh. Kuster again going to be spotted, making his way into pit. Bentet again off the back of the flash, tries to find something, but Cirque escapes. And EG, looks like the plans have changed, but Cirque just wants to stay and fight. Goes for the pot shot through the smoke. And Gen.G maintain control of long.
Push from Kuster. I thought he was going to go deep into bedroom there, but opts to fall back a little. Shows a little respect. EG, interesting that they invest a fair amount of resources into trying to take long and then choose to vacate it. Now switching their attention towards catwalk. Smoke on towards Xbox. They walk up into position. After taking this catwalk, I'm keen to see, do they opt for mid to B? Do they choose to try to go back towards long and pinch that A site? You can see the bomb still back towards that backside of long, so it seems like they want to try to take that long control and potentially pinch A.
Yeah, it's going to be the contact out long here as well. Breezy at the helm. Well, Cirque actually has some flashes, but let's see how it goes. Now 40 seconds, smoke goes down. Bentet, he's got some solid timing here, and he's just waiting, playing on the edge of blue, seeing if someone maybe makes their way through the smoke.
Well, he'll spot Breezy.
Playing anti-flash behind that blue bin. It's a pretty cool position, but he's out on an island here up against 3 EG players until automatic comes in.
Automatic also doesn't have a flash, so he's got to take that duel himself. Bentet doesn't get the help really that he needs, the ability to peek off the back of a flash or something like that, and EG end up rolling over long.
Now the rotation, it's pretty one-dimensional through CT here, Mac. Not sure they're going to get anything done.
Oh, well, gifted one, but it's going to be a 2-for-1 trade, and it's up to Daps in a 1v3. That bomb is going to be planted just in the nick of time. EG, maybe a little too thorough, but they still got that bomb secured anyway. And let's see what Daps can do as he makes his way up short.
Well, it's going to be an all-or-nothing play if he does go for it, because well, he's either going to win a 1-on-3 or he's definitely dead. So he ends up deciding better of it. It's the high-risk kind of a play that doesn't want to go for just yet. It's not essentially required. 13-7, though, will be the scoreline for EG, and we're kind of getting to that point where now, if Gen.G are finding themselves in a 1-on-3 sort of a fight, they might actually need to start committing to that because they're running out of rounds. And EG are going about this pretty well.
I think it was pretty rough for Bentet that he was unable to get a trade, but again, it just goes to show that, there you go, EG just very aware of these positions. Gen.G, mostly one-dimensional like for where they're playing at the moment, and they're just using so much utility early on in the round that they really run out of it towards the end. So, EG, same could be said though, they invested so much towards long in the previous and then ended up just going out dry.
Buy up here for Gen.G, but should they lose this round, they'll be fourths on Eco with EG on that 14-7 scoreline, which is, you know, threatening match point for EG. This is kind of the breaking point for Gen.G. They need to actually start making something happen now on this CT side. Bentet secured that long control. We do have automatic posted up there towards Catwalk. At least he's got that AWP, but with the utility that they have left at their disposal, with the kind of lackluster buy they're working with, I feel like somebody might need to make something happen at the moment. Otherwise, EG, they're just being too solid on the trades, too solid when they execute their game plan. Now, starting to move towards Bentet. He's got no support. He's only got an MP9. He's basically going to have to go absolutely mammoth style.
Let's see if it's just going to be a contact. Again, there's plenty of util for EG to utilize here, but it's automatic falling off. And that's going to be a freebie onto Ethan and Breezy. That's the bomb now. Automatic coming in. Is he able to get the trade? He knows that Cirque's on the short side, but just too standoffish this time. Worried about short. There it is. Nice shot comes through. Cirque going to miss his two, and it's just a matter of jiggling here. Tarek down on site as Automatic spots the shadow edging forward. There's going to be the fade out. Cirque can't hit his again. And there it is, 8 on the board. Gen.G salvage one just when they need it.
I love watching AWPers just sort of air strafe at each other when they miss a shot, and they're just like bouncing around all over the place.
No, you shoot first. Let me shoot you.
Anyway, goes to Gen.G this time. Great work from Bentet, just completely unchecked in the end by Ethan, and able to double down. That's nice with the MP9 as well. Bit of extra cash in the back pocket. It's not going to bail Gen.G out of hot water just yet, but maybe they're kind of like that frog, right? You know, if you put a frog into boiling water, it just dies. But if you put a frog into room temperature water and then heat it up slowly, it's fine. Maybe they're that frog and they're in that hot water, but it's not hurting them too much.
What do you do in your spare time?
I don't know. It's just facts, man. General knowledge.
All right, that's weird.
Speaking of pineapples, your shirt, did you know you can burn your tongue off if you eat too much pineapple?
Do you know what happens if you eat a lot of pineapple?
I can think of a few things.
Oh, okay. Do you want to tell me any?
Not this one.
Yeah, it does some weird stuff with your tongue.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, Bentet here, just close to the smoke. Just waiting for this aggression, and he deals with it. Okay, that's a 1-for-1. And it's back to the 3-on-3 we go. Kusta needs to deny this push up short. There's the first, and now that's some solid control coming in. Som with that orb gets another onto Cirque. This is looking good for Gen.G again. And Ethan, 26 HP, make it 0 as Kusta holds the A site well.
Well, they've got it within 4.
Yeah.
I think Gen.G is kind of quietly plugging away.
Oh,
you know?
yeah, Gen.G is playing a pretty solid game here. Like, you've got to give him credit. Even on the T side, like, with not a fantastic performance from anybody, they're kind of plugging away. They're doing a pretty decent job. I think EG is far and away kind of out-fragging them, really, individually, across the board in the server. But you're just seeing the power of that DAP system, man, and that solid play that Gen.G does bring. Even if they're not playing 100%, they can still get these rounds on the board.
It's a big spray. Oh my god, Kusta, he's just wrecked him. You know, we're just on the pistols, but even still.
Well, there's the
Where is he
confidence kills.
Where is he wrecked him?
Where is he wrecked him?
I think we all know where the rectum is.
On that B bomb site. That's exactly where, Jordan. That's a very, very solid anti-eco, you have to say. 10th round on the board for Gen.G. They build up a lot of cash. Now they're going to be a little bit harder to put away. And EG don't really have a great buy here, no. AWP, limited utility on some of the players. They're going to try and get that long control.
This is what we want to see, though, from Gen.G. A bit of fight in them. And here we go again. EG, they've just gone straight through the smoke and straight into Bentet, who is now really starting to cause problems for EG.
Boost up. You do see the full rotation come out for Gen.G. Hard committing to defending this bomb. has been dropped outside of the long doors.
Well, that's it, playing the objective. Lots of util brought in, and they're able to at least rotate one more smoke and a molly in this position. Stand over the top, just waiting for something else, but no one's giving it to him just yet. Daps, not going to be spotted. And it's again, just a battle through the doors. Oh, the blind one, Cirque, is going to have a blinder down to 16, it seems, and now 2v5, it's looking unlikely for EG again. So Tarek, he's going to go on a bit of an adventure up short, which is going to be covered by Somp. And it's a matter of time. Cirque can't really get too much done here from bedroom.
Nice. Keeping all those guns up for Gen.G. They're going to be quite hard to put away here for EG, who will probably have to take a save following this round.
All right, Mitch.
All right, hang
Mitch,
on.
look,
No,
Mitch,
don't do it to him.
I've asked it every day.
Don't do
I
it,
need to
Matt.
continue. So, how many rounds did Gen.G need before you start to believe?
I'm already starting to believe.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
that's actually the first time you've said that.
You're always against it, but
Normally
this
you're
time
not a believer, but
you've
now,
actually lent
Yeah.
into the bit.
yeah, it's like Smash Mouth.
Like, a lot of the times you ask me at a really dumb point in the game where it's like, yeah, it's still, like, on a nice edge, Mac, but actually, like, we're 13-11 here, but just look at the money. Gen.G just have, like, really, really good money at the moment.
What do you think of Bentet's new haircut?
I think it's a lack of a haircut,
I
to
actually
be
kind of
honest.
rate it though. It looks good.
I think it's better than Pilly's.
Yep. For sure. Not hard though. Pistol's only here for EG.
Pilly's crying. I'm so sorry. I love your haircut. It was like that time where you expected us to know you had a haircut when you had a beanie on,
Yeah?
and you got angry at us for not mentioning it. Do you remember that?
I've no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, right. Well, anyway, EG on some upgraded pistols, just trying to get some damage done to Gen.G's economy. But for now, Gen.G dealing with it nicely. Tarek already out of the persuasion. And Som's heard that jump across as well, flashed off. EG looking to commit to the short push now.
Yeah, trying to utilize the 4 grenades that they have. Couple smokes, couple flashes. Hit a nice shot on automatic and get him out of the equation. Could be a recipe for, well, a bomb plant. Maybe not success, but maybe a bomb plant.
Here comes the flash through though. It's not going to catch automatic. He's playing safe from that and pops his own flash up in the air, which will help Kusta out. A double kill already from him. Now it's automatic's chance, which he doesn't really do too much with. Still, good hold from Gen.G, and they keep 4 guns alive again. Money's fantastic on the CT side at the moment. Double digits for almost everyone. And, well, this is getting a bit too close for comfort now for EG.
They have definitely been letting their foot off the gas pedal in a couple of these games. Remember that Vertigo game against Cloud9? Not sure if they're necessarily letting their foot off the gas pedal per se. Definitely hasn't been as strong of a fragging performance across the board in these last couple of rounds from EG as the start of the game.
Yeah.
But you have to give credit to Gen.G. They're playing a very solid CT side here.
Yeah, they certainly are. This would be Evil Genius's first map loss here in the ESL Pro League as well, if they do drop it. I don't know if we're at that point just yet to talk about it, but they've done such a great job of clawing their way back. I almost want to see Gen.G win this map. They'll really set that series on fire. I kind of thought this would be a 2-0 walkover for EG today, but it's been anything but so far.
Very tight map. That catwalk control has been established there by EG. You see the utility pressure in from Ethan towards B, trying to keep those rotations in position, which they have done nicely. Now the progression smokes up towards catwalk, that one way over the top of the boxes towards CT. EG trying to extend their control and emphasis up towards this ace site, but you already see Kusta in position at Goose with the counter flash ready.
Kusta and automatic, they've swapped positions. The flash does come through. Kusta, he catches Tarek and Breeze. He tries to walk into the site, but he'll be met with a bullet from automatic's all. 4 on 3. Bomb plant finally does go down for EG. Feels like such a long time since they've had a good post plant, and this might be the one for them, particularly with Stanislaw finding that frag and now controlling short.
One way thrown out there for Ethan to use at the right timing here.
Speaking of, Automatic finds the timing onto Cirque now. Stan still able to hold short, but Automatic hitting everything. The line is there for Ethan, though. Back to the one-on-one. He's already found 3. Can he quad it up? Can he get it done? Automatic can't get it this time. EG send it 2-14 in a solid post plant and a big performance coming out from Ethan.
They just didn't know where he was. Yeah. And they lined up for him.
Look at the money on EG, though. It's absolutely cooked. Whereas Gen.G have really strong cash. Massive clutch from Ethan. No doubt that should have been around for Gen.G every day of the week. However, even if it is around for EG, their economy takes a big hit after losing that one. Seeing they have to go down to Galil's. AWP for Cirque is better than they potentially had access to before, but 3 Galil's, somewhat limited utility on 2 of their players. It's not really the ideal for EG up against this full buy from Gen.G. Nicely timed nade onto Ethan. Thought he was going to take a little bit more damage from that.
Did not put enough hurt on the ball that time.
Catwalk control being established here for EG. The push into long hut here from Bentet. He's fully secured that one, so they're feeling very, very safe from this long position. You got Som on the line towards B as well. Thinking about going for a push into upper dark after that catwalk control has been established. That's exactly what they do. Gen.G has the entire map except for catwalk control.
Yep. We're about to find out if round 26 is going to be the straw that breaks the camel's back. EG, they've gotten 1, but they need many more. Good entry from Breezy, but he can't find a second, and Kusta holds strong. Does a bit of damage to Stanislaw before falling. Molly comes in to try and deny the bomb plant, which it will successfully do, but Bentet dies in the meanwhile, and we're back to a 3-on-2. So, Gen.G once again required to make a retake happen on the A bomb site, and this time they're at a numbers deficit.
Prog smoke coming out from Daps now. Som, nice line found. Breezy a bit too slow on the trigger. Stan over the smoke's going to be spotted. Som doing God's work now. Cirque, he's in that 1-on-2. Finds the isolated fight, but Daps is the one to connect on the head. And there it is, Gen.G by themselves. 1 more round. 2 alive as well, and plenty of money in the tank to make this map happen.
It's not over just yet, is it, Gen.G? They really did just falter. One little stumble, and it maybe wasn't quite at the final hurdle, but EG, they're really struggling to find rounds at the moment, and quite heavily relying actually on individuals to step up in the rounds that they are winning.
Well, they have to some extent. Like, you look at the money again on EG, they've got a couple of players sitting around like 3.8k, one on 4.6. They've got to go down to those 3 Galils again, no AWP. At least the utility is there this time around for EG. But you're kind of a little bit more pigeonholed into some of those more aggressive plays when you've got limited utility, and again they're going to go for one of them into this big site.
Som, maybe a bit too late, maybe not. 1-for-1, perhaps not what was required from him. The rotation comes in from Kusta, but it's too little too late. Breezy, a double kill, unstoppable on the entry into the B bomb site, and this is just another instance for Gen.G where they're teetering on the precipice of the map loss. It's a 3-on-4 for the retake now. Again, a numbers disadvantage. At the very least, silver lining, they have a lot of util to work with here, but this is not going to be an easy retake for them to make work.
They've tried to fake the save by running down the ramp, but it hasn't baited out any aggression. EG so disciplined. I don't know if they even heard it from these positions, and now it's going to be a molly to car, which doesn't hit a thing.
Surely no
Cirque, he's just maybe going to go down, at least spotted, but there's just no time to get this retake over the line, and there it is. It's a 1-on-1. Automatic looking to make this a dangerously expensive round. And again, look, EG, yes, they get onto map point now, but look at the money. Again, it's in the bin.
Yeah, but the same can be said for Gen.G to some extent is the problem. I think Bentet, as well as one of the other players, had like around 3k in the bank account, so this might actually just be the breaking point here for Gen.G.
Yeah, it was Bentet and Kusa that were pretty low on the cash.
I mean, they've been using that double orb setup pretty much the entire half. At least they're going to still get it, but limited utility on Som and Automatic. Daps has got no util. Kusta's got no util after dropping that smoke. It's very, very hard to play without util on this CT side.
Oi, Kusta, that's your teammate. Bentet doesn't need a couple of bullets here or there. The handicap is no longer required. Gen.G are putting in a good name for themselves, but a double kill in pit. Oh, it's from the wrong team, though. EG. They just could not get anything done. Somehow Gen.G have held on to long. Bentet's got another.
All right, 2 apiece for the long boys, and now it's going to
Oh,
be
okay.
Breezy, last alive. He's bringing this back in a 1v4, but Automatic puts a stop to it. And there it is, 30 rounds of regulation going all the way. Gen.G now fighting for overtime.
Look at that money, Jordan, on EG. They're all sitting 2.5 to 3k. That's exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Gen.G pretty cooked in terms of the money as well. EG have basically just got to get this done with pistol armor util.
How has it gotten to this point?
Here's the attack timeout for EG.
15-14.
Well, Breezy so close to breaking the dirty 30 here. Kusta getting on as well. Everyone doing some heavy lifting there for EG. Gen.G, the same could be said. But look, Stan and Daps both having a bit of a rough one. Considering what we saw Stan do the other day on Vertigo, you might have expected him to have a better game here today.
Kusta's having a pretty good game for himself.
Yeah.
Almost dropping the 30 against EG is no small task.
Well, is this going to be the final round? Doesn't look like it if you just compare the buys, if you had to put money on it, but stranger things happen.
It's up to what EG can get done. They know that they've had this pistol utility buy. Let's see what Zeus and Stanislaw have put their heads together to come up with.
I think they'll be relying pretty heavily on Breezy. He doesn't have a whole lot of that util, so they'll probably be trying to enable him with that Galil to make the entries happen.
Yeah, I'd say EG, it looks like they're sort of setting up for a mid to B. The question is whether they take that catwalk control before they go mid to B. And as for Gen.G, it seems like they're quite set up for that mid to B. So here's the catwalk control being taken by EG. They're going to run the clock down a little bit more, keep Gen.G guessing, and you're seeing the rotation over from Som towards that CT spawn side. Automatic looking for a pick towards middle before this play gets started. Now the mid to B smoke. What a shot from Stanislaw to open things up here.
Oh, that's bad news for Gen.G. Surely not at the final hurdle. They can't drop here. EG with just the pistols and a Galil, but now they've got themselves an off. Daps a long spray down. Can't hold it on to get rid of Tarek by a car, and it's all falling apart for Gen.G. A 3-on-2. They need to retake the bomb site, but the plant's not down yet. Kusta, the man of the hour for Gen.G, 27 and 22, is going to need to 30 bomb to get this to OT for Gen.G.
The pistols of all things, and now it looks like this could be the closer. Ethan spots Kusta just dancing around the bricks at window. Stan can't connect this time, edging forward. There's the first. Now needs to get his way back in. 20 seconds remain to get to site. Kusta just needs to thread it past Stan, but it's going to be Stan back on the deagle to close it. 16-14, the pistols get EG over the line.